Gibby, what do you got for us?
You could let's be clear about this.
You lost to $2,000. Welcome to Gus and Gawny.
Episode 60.
Is it really?
Nah, I don't know. Just went with it.
Episode
be.
Episode in between finals is what I like to call it. Unfortunately, we didn't get the W.
That's why you get a second chance, though.
We were looking forward to doing the podcast in the second week, but we've had to dust up and come in on a Monday and get it going.
Yeah, we're adaptable. We're flexible as a podcast, and we're here. We've got a great show coming up as well. People, obviously, who have clicked on the link would know who our guest is.
This is a big guest, and I don't know how I'm going to break it to him that he's only on one vote.
Well, I think of all the awards he's won, this would be the one that he's looking for. He will on his trophy cabinet. There'll just be this big space. I don't even know do we have a trophy?
He's literally going to have to win every game from now on to get close because Cozzy's on 5, I think.
Well, we've got the maximum of 3 more games if he gets
all
3 votes in every single one, and the game just gone. So
I think he's going to get majority of our votes this week. But did he perform the way our sponsors want him to perform?
Hey, let's save it for the podcast. We'll wait and see.
Hey, Gibby.
Hey, team. How are we? Good to be back.
Not bad.
You have a big weekend?
No, quiet weekend, which was nice.
Yep.
Father's Day, big weekend for you.
Jess said she ran into you at training.
Oh, it was huge. It was a great result. Yeah, she wanted to give me in the flesh.
Yep.
So did George.
Yeah, but that's
it was great to meet him. It's been a little while.
I get confused. Does Gibby in the flesh still count when he's in captivity? Yep.
No, you were behind a chain fence. Is that correct?
He was working.
I had my Melbourne stuff on, so a few people came up and I said,
"That's anti-flesh.
That's not flesh.
No, that's just captive."
We want him in genuine casual doing TikToks at Coles.
Yeah.
If you catch him TikToking at Coles, then that's the sort of content we want.
How is the TikTok?
Should we talk these stickers?
Well, let's, because someone said give me in the flesh.
It's confusing, these stickers.
So someone came up to me at open training. Yep. Eliza was her name, and she said she's got a big gift for Gus and Gawny. So she dropped it off. It was a big box. I think it may have had something to do with her business. So that was a sticker bomb.
In hindsight, it wasn't a bomb. That's the first thing I thought.
No, it wasn't. It was sticker bomb.
From a rival podcast, maybe Rish and Wrath. Trying to get us.
Yeah. So she's given you a Happy E t-shirt.
That's what I'm wearing now. No, for those who are looking at it, it's not Hap Pie.
I thought it was Hap Eye, and I think our new segment should be Hap Eye.
Hap Eye. Also,
have you got them on?
I've got them on.
I wore these.
Such a comfy sock.
Yeah, I wore them game day. I thought maybe that'd be a bit of luck. They weren't.
You won't wear them again. What does it say on them?
Wingers Club.
Wingers Club.
That's why.
So you wore a pair?
I wore them.
Are you a winger?
I am now.
Were you a winger?
I wasn't. I was interchange. And then we also got these stickers. This is the first time I've ever made it to a sticker.
Yeah.
So
have you
in the flesh?
Have you put it on the car yet?
No, I'm going to give it to Nana Gibson, and she can.
Okay.
Wild Sun.
She's still driving. She's still on the road.
She does. Yeah, drives.
Good on her.
Yeah.
She doesn't go very far. Doesn't like driving more than 15 minutes.
No.
You can see potentially the Wild Sun sticker. There was
That's
only one of those.
The only one. Do we potentially give that out?
We could. And he's a Gus and Gawny. We got a million of those.
Yeah, we got heaps of Gus.
We can work on them.
Yeah.
Father's Day. So yeah, no, that was good as well. Disco Turner sent me a text because I'm his daddy.
Biological.
Yep. After he turned into such a
Jesus.
We can break that out.
Okay. Yep.
Well, yeah, everyone's heard the story, so I'm pretty much his daddy now. So he sent me a nice little text, which was nice.
So
what did you do? Did you get anything?
Main training. Not main training. The captain's run before the game on Thursday. The family came down, which is where Jess and Gibby ran into each other.
Was that for Father's Day?
No, just not really. That's just like we had like thousands of supporters there. It was just like an open training session, and I just thought like I've given George 10 good months. Like I've let him rule the house for 10 months. Like whatever George says happens. I asked for 1 hour. Come watch me train, and he cracked the shits and left, and I didn't even see him leave. He was there at the start. We got a funny video of Track picking him up and him cracking it, so I blame Track a little bit. And then when I went to get a photo of him at the end with all the other kids, George had gone home because he cracked it. 1 hour I asked for.
I genuinely heard you talking about this at the time as well.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to give your 10-month-old son really strong feedback, just as a gut feel, but I would say that last time I was at your joint,
he's a prick.
I walked in and it all seemed well, and then it could easily just be my head. But Danielle didn't exactly. It took Danielle a little bit of time to get him on side. He was. Is he just cranky?
Apparently, the issue was that he needed to sleep. Now, here's how I look at it. He got 12 hours that night, and I'm like, this is arrogant parenting here. Yes, my son sleeps 12 hours, 7 to 7, doesn't even wake us up. But then hit 10 o'clock, he wants to go to sleep again.
Yeah, wow. So he's the 100th percentile for head size.
Yeah.
Where is he?
It gets tiring holding that head up. Yeah.
I think that's you gotta
You
take
sleep well. Remember that time you slept in?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It is hard to have a head of that dimension, and
it's a bad time slot for you. You have missed this one.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's a struggle. I sympathise for the young fella. And
who at the age of how old are you? 26.
26.
Sorry,
I didn't sleep in.
Who at the age of 26 gets to 10 a.m. still at sleep?
I hadn't slept in. I was just so productive in my morning.
George at least had already been up for 3 hours, then went back to sleep.
I was just uber productive and just forgot that. I just forgot. I'm too busy for my own good sometimes. Anyway, here we are.
But yes, on Father's Day.
Father's Day.
It can go one of two ways, Father's Day. It can be like you have to hang out with the family all day and you and George are one-on-one the whole day.
Yep.
Spend some time.
Sure.
Or you get to choose what you do for Father's Day. And I got to choose, and I went to the local football by myself and watched Matt Jones and Max King play for South Croydon, and it was a beautiful time. And there was about 10 of us dads all sitting there going, and each of us had a story how we got out of Father's Day to be able to go watch footy by ourselves.
What was yours? Because this is your first.
Yeah, mine. Well, Jess went to Ballarat to go see her dad.
Oh, well, there you go. It's handed to you on a plate.
Win-win.
With the kid? Or you...
Yeah, Jess took George.
Perfect. Well, there you go.
The kid has a name, George.
Less of a excuse, more of a just the way it went.
What did you do for sticks?
He got some yellow and pink golf balls. So, you know, the two, it's like a new TaylorMade's, like half of the semicircle is one thick colour and then the other's like a completely different colour. It's actually this colour and the colour of your beanie pretty much.
Yep.
The red on your beanie. And it helps you find your ball if you've lost it, which he does a fair bit.
Okay.
It was also my mother's birthday. That's
a horrible timing for sticks.
She got walking sticks. The ones that, and Deborah, if you're listening.
Was she doing some skiing or something?
And the skis pole looking things, but for hiking. So she's into that.
Hiker.
Into that area. Loves hiking.
What did Daddy Gibby?
Daddy Gibby. Warren. Yeah, popped
over
for some scones.
Did he?
Did you make him scones?
I popped over to Mum made the scones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jam and cream.
Yeah, jam and cream.
That's good. You have like an English breakfast tea with it as well. Are you Scottish or Pom or
I'm
something?
not. No, I don't mind tea. Didn't have tea yesterday though.
You've got to be English or
literally popped over for scones and a tea.
Yeah,
I haven't done that since
something like that.
I mean, I've never done it really. Have you popped over for scones and tea anywhere?
No, but Haileybury for the morning teas used to serve.
Oh my god,
scones.
what a place!
So
what a place!
That's the last time I had a scone. Actually, that's not true. But
Haileybury had free scones with jam and cream for morning tea. That is phenomenal.
No, for like events. So if we had a school function or something, and I don't know, like a past play, like a
it's not helping you.
Past students' day, they'd come back and we'd host the past people, and then here you go, some scones, bit of jam and cream.
I can't even think about it.
That's the way it goes, mate.
So it was a good Father's Day. I was able to go watch some local footy. I had George in the morning. We had a good morning.
Yep. He would have been awake then.
And then 10 o'clock hits and old mate has to go to sleep again.
Off he goes. A couple of hours to Ballarat. Gets his sleep in.
It does.
So did you get something? Did Jess get you something?
This is actually, I'm getting the new cellar at home. Must be nice.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
He who's just had a go at me for having a stray scone once every other month at Haileybury has gone and put a cellar in his joint. Shame on
the
me.
way he said "must be nice" so quickly was
as if he knew that it might be coming from the two of us.
And Jess brought
So for those who don't know, a cellar is where you just get a heap of expensive red wine.
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be expensive.
And it is such quality that you must care for it sufficiently. So you build a tailor-made room.
Yep.
With the climate control and
my
the storage
gut feel
facility.
is most no cellar, but thanks for spelling it.
We got a lot of common men and women here, so maybe they don't know. And
can I get to my story?
Of course you can now. Is it in your it's in your new joint in Melbourne, isn't it?
Yeah. So about a couple weeks ago, Jess brought a record player for the cellar. Like it's like a nice little feel, and George brought me 3 records for Father's Day, which is, I think, really smart from him. He's realised I've got a record player with no records.
Which records did he go for?
My favourite band is a band called Jungle.
Okay.
And then Amy Winehouse, which will suit the cellar sort of feel.
Sure.
And then there was a Jack Johnson, which I'm not sure where he got that vibe from. I don't listen to Jack Johnson regularly, and I don't think it's a real cellar type mood. But hey, George must have loved the banana pancakes. He does love banana and pancakes separately.
I bet pancakes aren't far away.
But I have one issue with the record player.
Go on.
Are you into music?
Yeah.
Do you know how to? Have you got a record player?
I don't have a record player.
It's very deconstructed.
As in?
I've been given it in a flat pack.
Oh, okay. Wow.
For those that have record players, I have no idea how to set this thing up. and I've watched the tutorial on YouTube. I've read and I still have no idea.
Seems something that you wouldn't. It's not exactly a set
hard.
of drawers or anything.
It's hard.
Is it from IKEA or something? Or?
It's a highly technical piece of equipment. Last night,
I dare say she would have splashed out at JB or something, but
that's a stitch
sorry,
up, Jess.
George.
He got the records.
No, Jess got the record player. George got the records. That's right. Yeah, that's what I got.
That's incredible. Not something that I would flat pack if I'm just speaking out loud.
Yeah, I feel like this is the last. Maybe next year I might get a present that Jess made. Jess brought for George to give to me, and then soon it'll be the George Muggs best dad ever. So I'm got to cash in here on a couple of good presents.
Best dad ever. That's a bit presumptuous.
All right, we got to talk. One more thing that happened at training. Actually, I'm not sure if you saw it, and if you had the. Did you have the camera out?
Yeah, but it's been a bit of time with the fans.
There was a sign when I was making my way to give out a footy at the end of training, saying fillets.
Really?
Someone brought a handmade sign and wrote fillets on it. And it was a good size, like an A2 size piece of paper. Like it was a solid banner.
Yeah, wow.
Fillets.
Honoured. First of all, yeah, that's the first, my knee-jerk reaction is what an honour.
Yep.
Second of all...
You're getting called out on the field a lot?
I get a bit on the races from, you sort of just hear stray fillets here and there. And you just, I don't want to go pick them out because that would be a bit too laborious. So I smile, I assume they're looking at me, they've yelled out fillets. And I just give a little nod, head nod. And I think that the people appreciate that. Whoever would be saying that would be looking at me and would know that's for them.
Yep.
It's awesome. It's getting a bit of momentum.
That's good.
Well, so it should, by the way. Next time someone eats fillets in a wheat sub, foot long, lettuce, cheese, tomato, ham, then they can get called fillets.
You know how we were talking a while back about halfway hours?
Halfway, yeah.
How he's had a 6-inch and played half a round of golf.
Yeah.
Is it true that you walked off after 12 the other day?
No, that's not true.
Is it true you walked off after 12?
No, it's not. And this is awesome because what you've done, Max, is given me a platform on which to exonerate myself. Now,
are you now 3/4 Brayshaw?
No, I'm not. First of all, that's just... I'm not going to respond.
Are you ever going to have a foot long again? You're going to ask for a 6-inch
so where'd you get this from? For those who didn't know, we
played a PK and it rained and you walked off at 13.
Peninsula Kingswood with Christian Petraka, Stephen May, and Ben's the general manager, a bloke called Ben Davies, a good fella, and we all went out.
Okay.
We teed off at let's call it midday.
Yep. Give me the quick version.
And we get to hole 12 or 13, and what can only be described as a monsoon comes in. And so we get literally rained off the course. We drive into the clubhouse.
Did the other group keep playing?
So no. Everyone's gone in the clubhouse. No one else finished the round. And then we sat there for probably the better part of an hour waiting for the weather. So that takes us to about... That's when the round would have finished.
Yep.
And Track and I looked at each other and said, mate, we can't... We've got stuff to do. We've got to head off. Maisie said, I'll stick around.
Amazing.
And Ben, the GM, just sat down and continued to have a feed at the clubhouse.
Scones and tea.
Probably some scones involved. And then I get home, probably 5, shower, go out for dinner, get home, probably home around 7:30, at which point I get a text from Maisie, said, mate, I've just finished up the best round ever at the 38 points, which is a decent round.
So you walked off, you're 3/4.
So we got rained off. I sat down, had a beautiful meal, went home, had dinner.
Your story hasn't helped you.
Oh, well, I mean...
There hasn't been a monsoon in Melbourne for 17 years, so I don't think that's incorrect.
There may never have been a monsoon in Melbourne. That's not the point. The point is there are limitations around the game of golf, which time's one of them. So you can't just create a few hours. If you've got to be somewhere, you've got to be somewhere.
Open training this week, I'm expecting an A2 size piece of paper saying 3/4 Brayshaw.
Well, okay, Maxwell. How about flat pack? We'll get one that says flat pack too. Or wine cellar gone. I can't go too hard on that one. I think that's a great idea. And I'm excited to get in there.
Gibby?
Footy?
Yeah, let's. Well, it wasn't the best result.
It was a great round. Oh, great 3 games aside from ours to watch. Are you big
technically
footy watchers?
Technically ours was good to watch as well.
Yeah, just not the result. Right.
I watched Fremantle for my brother.
Were you nervous?
No, not nervous. I was just like, well.
Sorry, Andrew?
At 42-1, it was tough.
Bad luck.
Good luck next year.
You got to find some dignity out here now. You can't lose 82-1. You got to find a little bit of ticker. And that was incredible.
Yeah, he found it.
Caleb's
wrong.
It was the best first half of football I've ever seen someone play. Marcus Bontempelli he played every position on the ground. It was phenomenal. It reminded me of about 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter against us.
He turned it on. Same venue. That was probably the most incredible game I've probably seen all year. And there've been some awesome finishes, but they've been tight the whole way. This was, Mum and Dad were there as well, and they sort of said, "Oh, geez, it's probably going to be a mother's birthday the day after Father's Day as well. So they had a big family thing. They're like,
grim breakfast.
Yeah, it's going to be shit house. And Andrew was incredible. Caleb Strong as well. They
were good. The young fella up forward, a miss.
Young fellas, yeah. He just been brought back in.
Yeah, it was his second game.
Incredible. So that was awesome.
Collingwood Geelong just beforehand. Yeah, equally.
Collingwood Geelong. And our game was similar, especially late with us. About people just. I kicked the ball backwards almost when I was having a set shot. Melky had his little nightmare, like it happened. But Collingwood Geelong, that was happening heaps. The pressure must have been like to another level.
Incredible. That was I'd
like to think my set shot was high pressure, but set shots are quite unique where there's no pressure at all.
I kicked it backwards. Yeah, we'll just skip hop, skip, and jump past that. And then Richmond, Brisbane.
Yeah,
I mean controversy. Crazy. I was wondering, do we have a goal line technology sponsor that we could help the AFL out with?
We can look into it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Green Zone would be all over it.
Yeah, they probably would be.
Have you seen the still photo of Joe's goal? There's like 10 Richmond guys in the square. Yeah. And Joe's managed. He's like the only Brisbane guy.
It's incredible. So you're right. It was an awesome round.
Combined 3/4 time margins were 30 points, which is the lowest for a 4-game final.
And ours wouldn't have held that.
No.
I think we were 12.
12, yeah.
So, wow, yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, it was incredible footy.
I watched all 4. And I'm not a big footy watcher. And come Saturday, especially after a loss, I was like, I don't want to watch the footy. I turned on Collingwood Geelong at the start just to watch the pre-game. And I had all intentions to go out and do something Sunday arvo, and I stayed there on the couch and watched all 8 quarters of footy in a row. It was phenomenal.
There were 32 lead changes in the first 3 games.
Yeah,
crazy.
Even when Western Bulldogs were up by 40, I was glued to the TV still because Western Bulldogs were playing this brand.
Yeah,
the pressure across the games.
Yeah, it's
it made me
reflection on
It made me super jealous watching the celebrations of Brisbane, Sydney, Collingwood, Geelong and Freo post-wins.
I was watching the Fremantle celebrations and because it was Monday's final home game.
They stayed there, didn't they?
I thought there was one bloke in particular on level 3 who I thought was going to throw himself off from excitement. That was the most insane.
I think the crowd, they had 58,000 most forever for a Freo game. And once the siren went, I think 60 came in. I think another 2,000 came in.
Fair enough too. That would be 300,000th game or something like that. So
the purple haze with the way Optus Stadium can do their lights makes it look so cool.
Yeah, the LED stuff. We got the LED stuff as well, the red and blue.
But our colours help a little bit. Yeah. The purple really helps.
Purple is sick.
Come in, guest. We'll get to you.
We'll get to the guest.
Just take a seat, big fella.
But yeah, we've
got
to
see you though.
A couple of big games coming up as well. Should be, some more. It's Friday, Saturday night at the MCG. So we play on Brisbane Friday and then Collingwood at Freo Saturday. So
W had a win.
Should be good.
Nice little curtain raiser.
2-0. So good wins for them. Adelaide and North were two of the better sides.
They talk to you still, or
they talk? I worked that game.
Yeah, but you've abandoned their podcast.
Only the podcast. But
the captain jumped off the Titanic.
I saw Liza McNamara out on the ground. And said, I like your podcast, knowing full well I haven't listened to that first episode yet, but she appreciated the feedback.
Is that so she's jumped in your grave?
Yeah, so Eliza McNamara and Eliza West are rotating co-host.
Oh, okay.
Number 11.
Yep. Good player.
Good podcaster? You probably haven't listened either.
I've listened.
Oh, okay.
I listened to the snippet. There was a snippet.
I have abstained from snippeting.
Not sure if they call it snippets.
But they don't. But they don't even have a...
Have they had Buggy on?
I haven't had a Tom Bug Godfather-like figure.
I recommend it.
The Podfather.
Votes for the game?
Oh, well, it's going to be hard with Clary just walking in the room.
That's okay. Vote truly.
When are we going to tell him where he actually sits in the votes?
It's
later on.
Going to be one of the only votes that you're not at the top of at the moment.
The Gus and Gawny votes. You got a lot of awards, and it's good credit to you, but I don't think you're going to win this one.
I'm going Stephen May.
Stephen May.
Yeah, that's a fair vote.
And
why is that?
It probably doesn't tie that well to the podcast, but
that's all right.
I loved his game. I liked his press conference, or not a press conference. He got door stopped by Channel 7 the next day. Yeah. And he got asked about the handshake, and he got snubbed by Buddy. And I just liked the way he...
what did he say?
He just said, a bit disappointed, but he's a competitive sort of player. He went for the handshake, but he didn't. But I think his performance was certainly backed it up. So,
yeah, well, no, he was incredible. Who's yours?
Similar to the way Aubrey Wholesale Chickens goes about it. I really liked Oliver's game. I thought he performed to a level that Aubrey Wholesale Chickens would be really happy with, and I'm happy to attach that brand to Clayton.
Yep. Okay. And my vote goes to in a similar way that DJ Paul.
Yeah. One of our favourite sponsors, DJ Paul.
Yeah. So DJ Paul, you hire him and you just get he just comes in, no fuss, goes about his work. Not a lot of talking.
Who's the vote?
But executes. Charlie Spargo gets my vote because he got elbowed in the throat.
Does he sing when he DJs?
No. He just goes up there. No, he just sits behind that and he just goes to work. You don't hear any fuss. It's all DJ Paul music, energy, vibes, that sort of thing. He got elbowed in the throat early in the piece.
Has been told to only whisper for 48 hours.
And played the entire game without speaking. It's just incredible.
It just doesn't seem like the right doctor advice, does it?
Nah.
Only whisper for 48 hours.
No. He's allowed to have smoothies and cold beverages, which is awesome because the man loves black doink, and he can DJ.
Which is the important part.
He got the job. He played his role.
That's Spargo's first vote.
Is it really?
Yeah,
that's a shame.
That is a shame. That's ball.
How many votes is Clary on?
Clary's now got himself to 3. Cozzy's still leading with 5.
Yeah, okay. Green zone Cozzy.
Wiedemann, of course, has got every vote from Gibby. It's honestly like Wiedemann could be a chance for the Brownlow, the way he's polling here.
Okay, well, we'll go to a break. We'll come back with our guest. And
have you got... this is apparently a catchphrase that we use. Have you got anything else, Gibby?
Well, Harms got off suspension, 3K fine.
Yeah, he started a GoFundMe. I'm not sure how well he's going to go with the GoFundMe.
Poorly, I imagine.
And obviously the biggest news was Petrarca, a hairline fracture to the fibula and a corked calf.
I know more about his injury than any injury I've ever had.
It's been well publicised.
He's a doorstopper day at the moment. Are they here today?
I'm not sure.
They'll doorstop him. Yeah, and he's very open and transparent, isn't he?
Yeah, isn't he?
Well, I think if I had a hairline fracture, I'd try and keep it
They must
quiet.
be super confident he's playing.
I'd say so.
Otherwise, they just don't
I
say
think he's
stuff.
pretty confident.
I know big fella's going to play.
What is a hairline fracture? Is it just a hairline meaning small? We're
going to go to a break now and explain to Max what a hairline means, and we'll be back with
You have a fantastic hairline.
Yeah, no, I think,
Different?
I do. It's different.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll be back.
Hooroo.
Now, Gus, we all know the team at Zurich Insurance are proud sponsors of the Gus and Gawny podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Huge supporters of the pod. I think they were our first sponsor and certainly our first platinum partner, which is a huge result.
Yes, and they've also been on board as a co-principal partner of the club since 2018 and have been protecting Australia for over 100 years.
That's right. They provide insurance for individuals and families, plus businesses large and small.
Now, Gussie, we know you're a big fan of protection, rocking your helmet at every chance you get, so this is very on brand for you.
You're absolutely right. To see how Zurich can support you, head to zurich.com.au or contact your financial advisor or broker.
Yep. Thanks, Zurich. That was a really good plug about Zurich.
Yep. Yeah, you've summed it up well.
Yeah.
Awesome
I actually don't know how it goes. Have you listened?
Something about life insurance.
Yeah, being the best.
The best in the business.
Easily the best.
We've also got some other sponsors that...
Yeah, we always start off with Sporting Globe, and Sporting Globe are a great place.
We still
have 9 vouchers to give out.
Of the
We're
10
considering
vouchers.
putting them on the bar for our drinks post-season.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation behind closed doors and get back to you, but they still are a great sponsor.
And
Love Morty Alley.
We're just going to roll through the rest.
Yeah, sure.
Just quickly. So, obviously, Next Gen Minis that has gone under.
Yep. That's a tough.
Yeah,
that's an in memoriam.
Apologies, Melky, but they've gone under.
Yep.
Lay Day, Green Zone Termites, East End Wine Bar, Oliver Lock, Squash, Fat Nut Customs, Bailey Fritch Electrical, Cabin, Little Bridge Cafe, Bondi Sticks, DJ Pole, Sticker Bomb, just jumped on board.
Sticker Bomb.
Social Golf Club, thanks to Sticks.
Stixie Brayshaw.
Aubrey Wholesale Chickens that we've just mentioned before. Sejuna Metal Solutions.
Yep. For all your metal solutions.
Adsy Adventures, which we love Adsy Adventures. We can't wait to get to Fitzroy Crossings and use Adsy
that
Adventures.
Discount code.
Shock Absorbers, we're still working on that.
Yep, that's a spark. That's in the works.
Yep, Guzman and Gomez, F45 Frankston, Tongue and Groove Entertainment, and JT Air, which has also gone under.
That one's also gone down. Not for lack of sponsorship effort on our behalf, though.
Sorry, JT Air. And obviously, we're trying to get Body Fit Port Melbourne, but direct competitor to F45 Frankston with Melky v Hibbo.
There's a little bit of legalities there, but we're working through that.
So, before we introduce our guests, we need to know if he has a sponsor. You normally take this part?
Yeah, so obviously if you clicked on the link, Clayton Oliver's our guest. Welcome, Clayton.
Thank you.
Second time.
Two-time.
Two-time. I'm pretty honoured.
Welcome.
Two-time. Coaches Association, we'll get to that. And podcast guest. We obviously have an extensive list of corporate partners. And we're wondering if you had, you're a young enterprising sort of bloke. Have you got a small business, any connection to a small business we can add to that list?
It's quite an extensive list, that. And I do. It's my dad's business, Steve Oliver Plumbing and Gas.
Does a fair bit of work. Just check. Is there plumbing or gas in
we've
there?
We've got electricity.
Okay, tick. That's not plumbing or gas.
We got Little Bridge Cafe. Yeah, no, look, they probably
certainly isn't a cafe.
Sneaks in.
So Steve Oliver Plumbing and Gas. So that's
and gas.
And gas, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I bet there's a few plumbers.
Do plumbers do gas anyway? Like, does it need to be in the name?
No, they don't.
No, they don't, mate. That's why
both.
you have to do both.
Because if I have a bad barbecue,
don't call.
I can get a plumber in.
No, you can't.
Gotta call
Really?
the gas man.
Hey, gas man.
But you call Steve Oliver.
You got
Steve
both.
Oliver. If you're
You
in a
got both.
2K, you call Steve Oliver. You get both. So if you've got, let's say, 10 barbecues that need breaking, that need fixing that are broken, or you've got plumbing. I mean, 10 toilets or 10 barbecues. Get 5% off. Do you reckon you do 5% off the 11th?
You probably would. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds like something we can work with. We'll give that to Sparks. Yeah. Sparks will get a hold of that. But geez, that's exciting. That's our first plumber and gas man.
Yeah, we were talking pre this, and we said we need some more trades.
If only there was some more tradesmen out there. So Steve Oliver Plumbing and Gas. That's in Echuca. Use Gus and Gawny at checkout. Now we've got the formalities out of the way. Clayton, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So 2-time guest. We've had Chunk, who's 2. Hamish Blake, who's 3.
3-time. Sparks might be a 2-time.
Yeah, Chandler definitely more
New
than
sound.
He probably had 5 or 6, but you're in a pretty exclusive group.
When I got the text last night, I was pretty happy.
Yeah,
at least.
We're trying to think post-loss who could brighten everyone's day, and it's probably the guy who played genuinely one of the best games. Maisie was on par. Maisie was pretty good, keeping Buddy to 0.
Yeah.
The 100-metre penalty that Maisie gave away, Buddy, it's actually great vision. Those two, they're almost my 2 favourite players in the comp.
And they're going at it.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. You're a 2-time, 3-time, 3-time as well.
Soon to be 4-time.
Soon to be 4-time.
If I was a punting man, we don't have a gambling sponsor because that's not our style. But if I was to, you'd be the favourite. It's been a pretty unreal year for you, except for the head that you're now sporting. But it's all right. We're a podcast.
Luckily.
How's go on.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
What's wrong with your eye?
No, nothing. I think it's all good. Just a couple of stitches. It's got a little stray elbow from Will.
Fair looking elbow. It's hit you above and below the socket.
Yeah, I was having a look at it before. It's not too great. Got 2 lots of stitches, so I hate needles.
So the 2 lots of blood rule. Yeah. Have you gone to doc and said you stuffed it? Like you didn't clean it up the first time?
Nah, I didn't say that, but I was thinking it.
I've never seen someone argue a blood rule to an umpire. An umpire said you're off with the blood rule. He's like, I'm not even bleeding. His whole face is covered in blood.
And you had at that time you ended up coming back on with 2 lots of taping wrapped around you. You looked like a little bit like an Egyptian mummy of sorts, but you played on admirably. Probably, I think, with Steve Best on ground honours. But that's been your whole year's been incredible. How do you do it? It's probably too much of an easy question, but you just seem to be always at this unreal level. How is that possible?
Just such a well-structured question. Can't wait for the answer.
I'm terrible with my words. So,
what's the secret?
Tell us the secret.
We cut it out.
Is it the book, The Secret, the track reads?
Yeah, it might be. Might be that. I don't know. I think it's just, I have no idea. I think it's just the way the team plays, and I'm just part of that, bit of a byproduct of all that. Gawny hits down my throat most weeks.
Jacko now.
That helps.
I'm a mediocre forward now.
Yeah, you are mediocre.
Forward pocket.
It's just the way how the team works. Honestly,
4 times. How old are you? 25.
Yeah, it's 25.
So you're gonna have another 5 more.
Jonesy's
9.
Jonesy's 3 look mediocre now, don't they? So Steinsy's 4. So you could equal Steinsy.
Could.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, you've been
you've
been pretty good
Let's
yourself,
get it out of the way.
You know that his biggest issue for the Brownlow was you. And we're going to talk about that later. Because you wear a helmet, mate. You've scored,
come on, mate.
20 votes. You didn't play all round 19.
You're 8 foot and you've got a beard. There's no way they're missing.
Clary went in as favourite in 2018 and you've come out and didn't even play and almost won.
No one still hurts other than Gussie, 2018.
Yeah. Poor guy was crying and sitting over there in the back corner. He'd been interviewed by Bruce McAvaney before he goes because he thinks he's going to win. He's sitting there with 6 votes.
Well, fair enough. We'll get to that, I'm sure. Claz, we have, as we've alluded to, had you on 2 times now. We went through the notes.
Yep. We got some extensive notes from last time.
We're extensive note takers. I can't remember. We can't even remember. That's why we sort of had a look. And the first point was legs, !
Legs.
Yeah. Do you have any idea why we spoke about your legs?
My fat legs?
Couldn't have been fat legs. I would remember.
It might have been. I might have been talking about his
hamstrings.
He has no hamstrings.
When you look behind me when I'm doing
I don't think
RDLs,
I brought that up on air, but I'm happy to now.
My RDLs?
Yeah.
When he always sits behind me, he goes, oh my God.
So his upper body, so I'm talking above jock line, is best of the club. He has like 12-pack popping out.
Yep.
Veins everywhere. Would you know about veins?
Can confirm. Yep.
Show us your bicep vein.
Well, that was a flattering photo.
You have one vein and it's in the left bicep, is it?
Can't remember.
Opposite to Clayton, has veins popping
vascular,
everywhere. But his lower under the shorts His hamstrings
Very.
and quads just
I feel like that's
aren't
not-
as attractive.
Yeah.
Very subpar.
Yeah.
Is that what we were talking about though? Do you? I mean, you
It
wouldn't
might
know
have
that.
been.
That's the
Gawny,
first thing he's gone to.
yeah, Gawny does mention it a fair bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when I'm doing my
What you do an
RDLs.
RDL?
And we're doing them today. We're doing
It's like a
RDLs.
big
All
leg
right.
of ham.
I will go. I'll follow that up, and
Okay.
I'll report back.
Okay.
Legs.
Well, I'm glad we got legs. Brownlow, have you worked out what you're wearing yet? Because you were styled by someone at the All Show.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I just didn't have anything to go with, so I thought everyone was doing the same thing for those awards night. But yeah, I've already got one.
So you're set for Brownlow?
Same suit.
Same suit as
Yeah.
last year?
No, the one I got the other day.
Oh, easy.
Oh, yeah, I see. It
style
was
by-
black tie, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And have you got a +1? Did you?
I do have a +1. I have a girlfriend, Isabel. Yeah, so
Wow.
she'll be
Can we
there.
break that on?
Yeah, we
think
can.
it's
On the
been
Gus and Gawny
broken, mate.
podcast.
I feel like it's just been broken.
My
Yep.
best mate Alex was coming all year,
Yep.
and then
You found love.
she's coming pretty hot recently. So
Oh, well, we have a
she's-
lot of Gus and Gawny listeners that have probably been devastated by that news.
They're just shaking their heads,
No more-
tears, tissues.
No more than Alex. He's been finding a suit for the last 18 months.
I've
Nana
met
Gibby.
Alex. That's
Nana
the
Gibby will be flat.
That's the fellow who's no taller than 155 centimeters.
Oh, max.
He's tiny, isn't he?
Yeah,
And you beat him in FIFA a lot, which are
Yeah.
great content that
Good-
you put
good
up
for my
on Instagram.
confidence pre-game.
Yep. There's nothing better than the 11-0 win on Instagram that he puts up.
That's still a
all the
formal
time.
apology.
Well, I just embarrass him on Instagram, so he gets enough
okay,
messages
fair enough.
to reply to.
So, Brownlow, we've touched on how your head is a bit beaten up, but you actually got some positive feedback.
You got some positive feedback about your hair on the weekend.
Yes, Tom Hickey.
Yeah.
Strange
I will go give him a
sequence
follow on Instagram. Actually, I've
Did
been
ya?
mean to do it. No, I've been mean to that. I've been a bit.
Does he follow you?
I don't know. I
What
hope
does
so.
he mark? Because-
I'm gonna go follow him though. I was thinking about I'm gonna go send him a message.
So
Say thanks.
What did he
explain.
say?
Explain.
So he's come up to me and he said, a few of the boys been ragging on your hair. I think it looks pretty shit. I'm like, oh, thanks, mate. He goes, he's like, and then he goes, oh, I dig it though, mate. I reckon you look good. I was like, thanks, Tom. Appreciate
It's a
it.
real
You look
backhander.
good
He
too."
set you up to let you
Yeah.
know the whole team hates
Yeah,
it,
massive backhand.
but he loves it.
So the whole team's been talking about it all week, and then
Yeah.
he's just come in and said he likes it. He digs it. So I was like, oh, thanks, mate. And then just walks off and
What time of the game is that?
No, the Sydney were on top.
nah.
Oh, really?
No,
Was
it
it
was
right in the middle?
third quarter, in between the third quarter.
Probably after he kicked the goal.
Maybe
A
that's
little bit of
just
confidence about it.
yeah.
Good on him. Friend of the podcast. He gave us hats way
He
back
is a friend
when.
of the podcast.
He's
He
a
actually,
great man.
I put up an Instagram story saying track will go, tails never fails in the
Yeah.
morning because he was flipping the coin, and Tom Hickey replied saying, I'll let Luke know, which I thought was quite funny. Yeah, he did give us hats.
I reckon
neat animal hats. As
When
a
we were
company.
in
Probably
the
a sponsor.
yeah,
actually.
they have to be because we had them on in
And then the powers told us to take it off
the podcast. Yeah,
they-
yeah, we got
because they were a
we got a
competitive
conflicting.
conflicting
hat sponsor,
brand,
something like that.
neat
Fair
animal.
few sponsors there.
We do.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Sparks is
Nothing's gone into our pocket at all.
nah, nothing as of yet. Give it.
That's why
till
we're thinking
Monday.
about taking the Sporting Globe vouchers.
Could easily be the case, but that's very nice of Hickey.
He's a great bloke.
It obviously didn't affect you, but you know, this is a good news story. You know,
It is good news. So, what is your daily hair routine?
I wake up and that's about it. Jump in the shower.
You wash it?
Nah.
You
Oh, every now
don't,
and again.
like once a month or less?
Maybe once a week.
Once a week. Oh, so you do wash it a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And what do you use?
Whatever Isabel uses.
Okay.
Whatever the shampoo conditioner she uses.
Oh, you've already gone to the same shower condiments.
Well, it's pretty easy. There's
Yep.
no point doubling up. Bit of
Yeah,
waste
that's
of money.
fair.
point.
That's fair.
Oh, she moved in with you. So have you got a new joint as well?
Oh, no.
Whoa,
No, no.
whoa,
We're about to announce something else for a second there.
No. Because
At the
in
best.
our notes we said there was the original notes was house, so I just thought
Sorry.
new house.
Do have a new house,
You
but by myself, happily.
Yeah.
Happily by myself.
happily by
Yeah.
himself.
How many rooms?
3 or 4. 3.
I think you
my
should
God,
probably know.
What a beautiful problem to have if you don't know if it's 3 or 4.
The other one's a study.
Could be 5. I'm not sure if upstairs is done yet.
The 4th one's a study, so I'll start to study.
Oh, what are you studying?
I can't study, Angus, and you know that.
No, you said
smart.
study. No, you're right.
You know what,
That's
you
terrible.
put that up there.
That's bad
and
by me. But you said study. So
I've
I
tried.
thought-
I've
Okay.
tried, and it's just not me.
Now, we look, when I say we, the club in your 3 Keith Bluey Truscott medals have looked after you and done a Q&A with Clint Stanaway for the speech.
Mm-hmm.
Brownlow, I don't think they can help you there. I think you've got a good 5 minutes where you got to go by yourself. What are you thinking? Obviously, you're not thinking about the Brownlow yet, but
Hoping I don't win.
so MVP
Definitely.
Coaches Award, you got Q&A
Yeah.
and Took as well,
Yep.
Q&A. Maybe I'll come up with you.
Yep, happily.
Maybe we both come up with him. Gus is
Happily.
invited this year,
I'm
first
coming.
time.
Good.
Well,
Good.
yeah.
Deservingly. After
Well-
being snubbed in 2018.
That's an all-time. I'm glad I didn't go then. This one's going to be better because there's no more fairy tales. You can't write fairy tales anymore.
No.
You can only wear a helmet for the first time once. You can only have a new beard once. You know, that stuff just doesn't happen anymore. So forget that.
Has a halfbacker ever won?
I'm half a chance to have the highest cumulative Abe Brayshaw.
Oh,
Like we could win together. The
your
two of
last
us.
name could win.
Yeah, and our first initial.
Yep.
So Abe Brayshaw.
Oh, that'll be funny. Melbourne Fremantle round 17. And if they don't say the team,
And you
they go
played
2 votes.
unbelievable.
Did you play well on the Freo
Yes,
game?
you
Nah,
did.
not
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it was your first
Yes, you
midfield
did.
game.
You would have got
no.
3 votes. Pencil him in for
I
3.
didn't touch the ball that day.
Didn't you? Didn't touch the ball.
Wow.
Oh, you got tagged.
Yeah.
By who?
James Osh.
Oshie.
About it, but Gus had about 35, I reckon.
Something like that. We will go together and then we're going to have a good time. But we can't. That's something we can do.
That's something
And
we can
also, if you, I know we're pumping the brakes on a little bit. She hadn't moved in or anything like that. But if you end up getting married, we can MC your wedding. We've got photography.
Have you heard
we've
about
got
our business?
DJ Pauling.
It makes a lot of sense, yes.
Yep.
You both speak very well. So
Yeah, so we can start. Baby
Yep.
steps up on the Brownlow.
Yep. So we can, and obviously Stefan can do a lot of the film work, and his brother actually
Tongue and groove.
can do the DJing. But DJ Pole,
We probably have to use DJ. Our
we'll
man.
look into it.
We'll have a look.
We can get the catering done with Albury Wholesale Chickens.
Yeah,
free wedding.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be a free wedding. You just got to
Make sure there's no insects around, especially termites.
gas. We can make sure your plumbing
Yep.
and gas is all good. We
Yeah.
got a lot there.
That's
Are you
something we can
nervous
do.
about that stuff? Does that come up on your radar?
What, the wedding or the
wedding.
Brownlow?
Brownlow.
Brownlow.
Wedding's
Slash wedding.
absolutely
Okay.
not, and no.
Yep.
Not yet.
Not, yeah, purely thinking about Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bit nervous about that.
Have you ever had 2 chase down tackles in a game before?
Never. I've never had one.
Okay.
Never even had close to one.
Was the first one Viney's?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry.
That was-
That wasn't a chase
coin
down,
one,
though.
Vines
I
have done
just
the
fell
heavy
on.
lifting.
He done all the tackling. I just laid on top of him, and then I got thrown the ball. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll take it. But the second one, I think I just tripped over and took out his legs. I think Jeremy took his legs out, and he missed the ball. I wasn't even a tackle.
Every time Clary's coming off, I love, one of my favourite things is the MCC clap when you're heading onto the bench.
You earn that clap, don't you?
Yeah, and when you're losing, it tends to be just the one person that's lifting and everyone else, and it was Clayton on the weekend, and he was getting a few claps.
Well deserved.
Have you ever been clapped off?
I've been clapped off. I've been clapped on
Clapped
once. So my first game back in 2017 or 16.
on? Starting the pine.
Against
Yeah,
St.
from
Kilda?
against St Kilda, where you picked me up off the
Oh,
ground. Yeah, that
okay.
game. I
That's
got a
an
clap
iconic
on.
photo.
Got a clap on, and then I've had a couple of claps off.
Or should have clapped up in Alice too. Alice
Springs.
38 and 3?
That was a good day.
That was unbelievable.
The MCC though.
20,
Yeah,
26 marks.
we've all had claps here. A couple of good claps.
That's what you, when you were playing wing, which is a great part of your life. The
Wing
wing
half full.
I played wing on the weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were a chance if Harmsy got a week to head back out there as well. You had 38 and 3 one week, then the next week you had 9 disposals, but you did not do anything different. That's just the Wingers Club, isn't it?
Oh, man, sums it up right there. Feast or famine. And I get a nice pair of socks for it as well. Yeah, I'll put a photo up of the socks on. I don't know if they've purchased or anything, but that'd be something I'd be interested in getting Lingers into. For example.
Do you want a sticker?
I was just looking at them. What are they?
Put you on your. Do you still have that car that blows up every time you drive it?
Oh, I've got a new car actually from back home.
Yeah,
Mazda.
well done.
Oh, that looks
we
tough.
We can't mention any other competing
any
brands.
other
Let's say
competing
that.
car brands.
Unless it's a Land Rover.
That's
Or a
not.
Jaguar?
It starts with
It's
Okay.
not.
Starts
It's
with-
neither.
Let's just say it starts with J. It doesn't. But what was the question I said before that?
Something about
so,
stickers.
for those that don't know, Clayton's old car.
Oh yeah, she's in that.
I know that car.
There was some
very
quality
well.
Instagram story one night where it blew up on the way back from Casey.
Hit a pothole, lost 2 tyres. RIP.
We had the best modern day Melbourne player ever driving what could have been the worst car I've ever seen. You know, there used to be a demon car. Have you seen the demon car?
No.
Used to be this bomb they used to paint on the sides. Like, I play for Melbourne. I'm a Melbourne player all over the side. And if you spun the wheel and got that, you had to drive it in. I'd rather drive that car than the car Clay was driving.
So I'm going to push back.
Got me from A to B.
Yeah, exactly. A to B. B, it's got a bit of character
Yep.
because I used to drive.
You used to drive
God
the old
rest its
BT50.
soul.
Yep. That was a sad day.
It was a real sad day. But yeah, you got to respect it. How is life in a new car? My car beeps a lot now, and my old car never used to beep.
It annoys me.
It was
Every
very
speed
annoying.
limit. Every time you do this.
Oh,
Every time someone passes you.
Every time you look
Yeah.
halfway out of the screen the long way, it just seems to be beeping.
Yeah.
And just randomly, for no reason at all, it just seems to beep. My car never did that.
Reversing it beeps. Yeah, there's too much going on.
So what have you done? Did you sell the old car?
It's
Scrap
actually, I gave it to Andy Mona's Wakefield, one of the young boys, for 10 days, I think. He needed that because he was getting his car serviced.
And where is it now?
I believe it's still there somewhere.
At his joint.
It's still alive.
Somewhere around the corner.
Yeah.
You know that Spargs, DJ Paul,
DJ Paul.
left when we went to the hub last year, drove his what was it? He called it Shane. I think it was a Nissan X-Trail. Shane the X-Trail out to the airport, airbase, and just left it there.
Yeah.
Never picked it up, and it's still out there.
It's still there.
It's been a year and a little bit now.
Has anyone called him or tried to get him to get it?
Paul, his old man, who is actually called Paul, has been all over him, but he just
left it out there.
It's collecting dust.
Good on Charles.
Cars, we could get a car sponsor.
We could. We're looking. We have one.
I'd like a second-hand car sponsor. I think they've got a little bit more character. I miss your car.
A lot more character.
I got a lot of fond memories of your car, even though
a few dents in it.
Dings, just stuff lying everywhere.
Plates,
bowls. I think a few mum and dad's bowls.
That's still
It's a character though. You don't get that in new cars, do you?
Spoons, knives and forks. Too much in there.
Serious question.
Yeah.
You get tagged a lot now?
Yeah.
How do you deal with a tag? It's something that I've never really had, although ruckman tend to play on each other anyway. And you've tagged
I have been tagged. I used to get tagged.
Did you?
Lots.
2018.
Yeah, on the wing. They tagged down the wing.
Inside
I was in the guts for a little bit and they tagged me in there.
And then you were signed your contract, went back to half back, then had to sign it again to get back to the midfield. Anyway.
It's not about me. It's a serious question for Clayton.
How do you deal with the tag?
A lot of help from other mids.
Yeah.
Gussie on the weekend.
Does it mentally get you when you first see it?
Nah, that's happened.
You sort of lick your lips.
Happens most weeks now, so.
Yep. Who's the best at it?
The ball. Yeah. I've averaged about 5 touches.
He retired, didn't he?
Yeah, I was going to retweet it and said, thank God for that, but I remember he's a pretty good fella, so I didn't end up saying
he's
that.
friends with Tom. I've met him as well.
Unfortunately, seriously not. And every time after the game he comes to me, he always shakes my hand and, sorry, mate. And I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, there was fights every time we played GWS.
Yeah, and he'd be always so nice after the game, and he just couldn't really say anything to him. I couldn't badmouth him.
They were very good at tagging a player at GWS. The whole team would do it. They'd all get into it. Mumford got a week. Did he get a week when he hit you at the gather?
Nah, that was clean, apparently.
That was clean.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my serious stuff done. You got anything else?
Well, no, I think the serious stuff for mine was all about Steve's Plumbing and Gas.
Yep.
Yeah, that's huge. Get that out there.
Your parents are actually, they've taken over from Bernie Vince's parents as probably the most loved parents at the footy club. They seem to be they seem to be at the bar every single
They're just
with Bailey Fritches.
Dad got off the plane in against Brisbane.
Yeah.
Got off the plane at 9:55 and trying to get up, got off the plane at 10 and was in the bar by 10:01. Had his first.
And the game was 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and he hadn't even got his luggage yet. He forgot about his luggage. Mum took his luggage for him.
At least he didn't get on Roman Bryan like Tartar's dad.
He was trying to.
Oh, was he?
I was trying to think he could move. I think he was stuck at the back in a seat somewhere. I was trying to talk to him and good work.
Steve used to play at the Singleton Roosters, fun fact. Same as my older brother. So they've got a little link there, yeah.
Where is that?
Roosters, middle of nowhere.
It's in Will.
Will
gave me a handshake the other day. I saw him at All Australian.
He looked very hot. Very good looking.
Yeah, he did look good.
Unbelievable.
I've got a sore pinky finger. Like it's just been sore.
Yeah.
And I'm not a great handshaker.
Yeah.
But I went in Hamish, like classic, like lovable larrikin Hamish, like one of these high fives where you bring in the shoulder. Yeah. And then Will, obviously a bit more proper, goes in with a big handshake. The tightest grip, and it put my finger back like another 2 weeks.
Yeah, well.
Strongest in fun.
Go on.
You.
Oh, yeah, I beat him in an arm wrestle. Yeah, so
you beat Will in an arm wrestle.
I'll get the vision up. You were there, hey?
I was about to say one of the strongest people for handshakes I've ever received. And then on top of that, Gus
twice, probably.
It was a long debate on who's stronger.
And I slammed him. So, yeah, no, look, it is a tight grip.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Give him the feedback.
Can't be that tight. Yeah, I'll give him the feedback. I'll also get that video up. I'll fish that up somewhere and I'll put that one up. But
we've ticked over 40 minutes, so none of Gibby will be filthy. We try and keep it in the 30s.
Good.
But we had a 2-time, 3-time, potentially 4-time asterisk. You could get him.
Asterisk? No, I won't. Double asterisk.
Looking forward to what you can do this weekend. Glad your eye's okay.
Thanks for coming on.
I can't be happier to be a 2-timer here.
Yeah, it's a huge
last night when I got the message, I thought it was a dream.
If you do something good between now and grand final, you could be a 3-timer.
3-time.
No promises though.
No promises. But Langers has asked to come on at some point. We've got to keep winning though.
We do. But thanks very much for coming, mate.
No, thanks for having me, guys.
Much appreciated.
Back next week.